How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make trance like Testpress. Today we're going to be looking at their track Losing Control. Here is what you'll have made by the end of the video. Let's firstly start with the drums. All these drums are from my Trance Volume 1 drums pack. It's just dropped. You can get it from the link in the description. The pack has over 400 loops, one-shots and effects for making your trance music just like DJ Heartstring, DJ Daddy Trance and Testpress. Check it out while it's still on sale. Let's break down how these drums were made. Great, so just to show you, none of these drums have any effects on apart from the clap, which has this darkroom snare. So yeah, this sort of just adds a little bit of tail without it. So it puts it in its own little space. Let's work through and see what we've got. Great, so firstly let's start with the kick. It's really nice and thumpy and has a really nice attack. As you can see, the waveform sort of builds up over here. We then layer that with a shaker. That's then panned all the way to the right. And another shaker all the way in the left. We then need a little percussion loop. So this is sort of like cowbells and like a clav. We then have that clap, which has the nice dark reverb. And then we add some hats. And then more hats. As I said, you can get all of the drums from my new pack. Before the drop, I've also got some transitions, which is also drums. So we've got this crash. This is essential to making trance music. We've also got this little clap roll. So all this is a clap. So this would be a clap. And then I'll just duplicate it 4 times just before the drop. And then I've changed the gain, so the volume of them, so they're all slightly different, so it sounds more like humanized. And then this is what you're gonna get. You can also add a little bit of delay, or yeah, basically any effects you want. Bit of reverb, bit of delay would do nicely. Once we've got that, we can move on to the bass. So yeah, so the bass and the lead are sort of working in unison together. They're both presets from my Trance pack. You can get that from the link in the description. This pack is fucking sick. It has loads of leads and loads of basses for making sick trance, just like DJ Heartstring and many other producers. So if we look at the bass notes first, so the MIDI, we're in the key of C minor. And yeah, this is sort of just repeating itself. So we're hitting on the offbeat. If I play it with the kick, it's quite a strange rhythm, but it definitely works. So obviously the kick is hitting on every beat like this. So this bass note is sort of just playing. It's quite stuttery. So yeah, those are the notes. Feel free to copy those. Not really much else I can say about them. The sound itself was made in Serum, and as I said, it's a preset for my new pack. I'll show you now how to make it from scratch. Great, so initiate preset, oscillator A, pitch it down by 2 octaves. We then go to analog, basic shapes, select a sine wave. It's gonna sound like this. Oscillator B, turn that on. Analog, MIDI bass. You can then change the wave position to how you want it to sound. Make sure it's pitched down 2 octaves. Filter, we need some pluckiness, so turn that on, A and B. Energy low 24, and then bring that down. We then go to envelope 2, and we make it into sort of triangle shape. Maybe bring that decay down a bit. Drag that onto the cutoff. Bring up the levels. Maybe try Angelo 18. Bit of fat. It's a little bit of clippiness. So on envelope 1, let's bring up the attack. Let's also sculpt it so it looks something like this. Add a bit of release. Maybe a bit of sustain. Let's hit it with the kick. Let's change the shape. Something like that. Also optional, you can add a sub. Pitch it down to maybe -1. It might be a little bit much. So what you can do, like I did, is add this little EQ. Just to boost the frequencies that you want. I've also sidechained it, so if you go to the kick start, you can see I've sidechained it to the kick. I've also done this on the synth, which I'll move on to now. So the synth sound is this. So yeah, this is a synth lead. Great, so if we have a look at how it's made, in oscillator A, we have basic shapes and we have a nice saw wave. This is then got a unison of 4. This basically means that it's wider. If I bring down this detune, it's more in the middle. Bring it up. Got the same in oscillator B, so instead of basic shapes, I've gone for saw rounded, so you can find this in analog somewhere. And yeah, the unison is 2, so again, it's not directly down the middle or mono, and it's a little bit wider. But yeah, both of them fairly detuned, but they're kept pretty central. If I was to bring it up, this sound more like this. So yeah, we want to keep it nice and down the middle. The main pluckiness of the sound obviously comes from the filter, so you've got to turn this on, A, B, and the sub. And yeah, if you go to envelope 3, this is obviously dragged over, just like we did on the bass. And yeah, these are obviously the settings if you want to have a look and copy them. We've also got a nice bit of noise, which you can hear without it. Sounds a bit too digital. The noise just makes it a little bit more crunchy and sort of human-like. So first we've got distortion, making it a bit louder. We've got this delay with a nice 1/8 and quite high feedback. We then got this EQ, which is boosting the top end and taking out some of the lows. Makes it a little bit harsh, but it really helps it punch through the mix. Without it, very mute. We then got this reverb. Isn't really doing a whole lot, to be honest. I've also added a reverb externally, which is doing most of the work. So it's got 37% and 2.22 seconds decay. I don't really fuck around with any of the other settings apart from this EQ, which I do normally change, but in this case I've just left as it is stock. Yeah, so if we have a look at the build, so you'll see I've got this auto filter, taking out the top end. Just makes it, when it does hit in the drop, it has a lot more impact. I've done the same with the bass, but in reverse. This auto filter is taking out the low end. Then when it hits, it all comes back in. Next, I'll tell you about the vocal. I'm 98% sure it's from Splice. So when people are like, oh, there's no good vocals, I can't find any vocals. Testpress get most of their vocals from Splice and they're dropping bangers. So yeah, grow up. Lastly, I've just got these white noise risers and downers. Riser. Downer. Great, great. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Please comment down below which videos you want to see next. Cheers.